Let's bring in Aadil Zaman, partner at Wall Street Alliance Group, to get some thoughts here. Aadil, thanks so much for joining us here. Again, that inflation discussion has really been heating up over the last several weeks, and it certainly has profound implications for the markets going forward. How do you guys at Wall Street Alliance view kind of what appears to be some growing inflation in this economy?
Great to be with you, Paul. So, we really feel that inflation over here is a dominant theme. It's not transitory. It's here to stay. And, the jobs report this Friday will probably give affirmation of that as well. And, there are different reasons for inflation, one of which obviously is the labor shortage. And being in New York City, I don't know if you guys have noticed this or not, but one of the things we are suffering from is that the Uber and Lyft prices have skyrocketed.
Oh boy. Yeah, if you can find them.
Oh boy, yeah. And, year over year, they've actually, according to research, have gone up by about 40%. And the reason for that is there's a shortage of drivers. So for these reasons and others, we really feel that inflation is a dominant investment theme for us at Wall Street Alliance Group. And we are investing in sectors and businesses that tend to do well in an inflationary environment.
I got to say, that doesn't make me unhappy because those guys, they work so hard, and that is a tireless job. Sometimes they're putting in, more than 12-hour shifts. And I did a little stint as a Lyft driver in an Aston Martin Vantage V8 once. And
how did that go?
It was actually, that was pretty fun because I was in an Aston Martin, but most Uber drivers are not. The interesting thing on the labor side is there are a lot of slots that aren't getting filled, not just Uber and Lyft, but also hotels that we talk to, restaurants that we talk to, because the unemployment benefits are so good. And I'm wondering if that's also the problem for Uber and Lyft. Do you think we're going to see this change big time in September?
So definitely that is, we feel that is definitely a factor. And come September, we are going to see a change in this. And, one of the things that's going to happen, Paul, is that when all these workers come back to the workforce after the bonus unemployment is finished, we are going to get an increase in demand, and that's going to cause prices to go up. So there's, again, going to be inflation. So either way, we cannot get away from inflation. It's here to stay. And the prudent approach is to identify sectors that will benefit from inflation. So, for example, we are very constructive on the banking sectors because when interest rates go up, guess what's going to happen? Banks are going to be able to make more money on their loans, right? Banks tend to also do well at times of economic recovery because businesses have to restock their shelves, so they have to borrow money, right? And then the capital positions of these banks improve. So they're able to do more buybacks. They're able to give out more dividends. So we feel that, the banking sector as a whole is going to do well in an inflationary environment.
So, Aadil, I'm probably in that camp that says, you're not going to get real sustained inflation in this economy until you get wage inflation. And we didn't even have wage inflation, I would argue, before the pandemic when we were at full employment. Do you think we will, in fact, have meaningful wage inflation in this economy as reopens?
So even right now, even in your program, I'm listening to the advertisements by Amazon about, how they're going to give bonuses to workers to lure them, right? So I think that, as the economy recovers, there's going to be demand for labor and, companies are going to compete for it and they're going to have to pay higher prices as they are right now. Another thing that we are seeing going on parallelly, Paul, is this infrastructure package. And, because of this, we do feel that that's going to, in one way or the other, get passed. And because of that, again, more jobs are going to get created and we are going to see, wages also go higher. And, speaking of this infrastructure package, we really feel that this is something that is of dire need in the U.S. because, when you travel to countries like, let's say, China or Singapore, you see how badly the U.S. is lagging the rest of the world in infrastructure. According to the American Society of Civil Engineers, currently the U.S. gives the U.S. infrastructure a C- grade. So we feel that there's bipartisan support for this. And, even if we have to expand the national debt to pass this infrastructure package, we would still be fine with it because interest rates costs are extremely low right now.
Aadil, thanks so much for joining us. Aadil Zaman there, who's a partner at the Wall Street Alliance Group, talking to us about inflation and infrastructure. Really a couple of hot topics. We're going to get more out on this at the Beige Book later tonight, or later today, I should say, and then obviously non-farm payrolls on Friday. This is Bloomberg.